Hello everyone, it's QueenVLionz back to you with another video. This video pertains to the recent events surrounding the twice impeached one-term grifter Trump, as the redacted FBI affidavit was released to the public. Now this redaction showcases the multiple classified documents Trump had at his resort. Now you will watch these brief news clips and I will be back with more commentary.
The government's 13-page memo explaining the rationale for the redactions. They say that parts must remain sealed to, quote, protect the safety and privacy of a significant number of civilian witnesses in addition to law enforcement. In other words, the FBI's probable cause was not based on a single informant, but on a number of different witnesses, likely having to be people inside Trump's orbit. And I'm sure that fact is not sitting well with Donald tonight. And the affidavit explains why many of them might have cooperated. It describes in specific detail the nature of some of the documents that were just laying around Trump's golf resort. In the 15 boxes of documents returned to the National Archives in January, the FBI found 184 unique documents bearing classification markings, including 67 documents marked as confidential, 92 marked as secret, and 25 marked top secret. In many cases, just mixed in with magazines and like newspaper clippings and other detritus in the same box. But even more alarming is the following line that indicates some of the other markings. HCS refers to Human Control System, which generally refers to a program from a CIA officer about conversations with a confidential source overseas, namely a spy. These reports don't normally leave the CIA. SI refers to Special Intelligence, which is communication intercepts by agencies like the NSA of foreign leaders or other individuals overseas. And then there is no foreign, which is intelligence so sensitive, it can't even be shared with any foreign nationals, even our closest allies. The affidavit adds that several of the documents also contain what appears to be Trump's handwritten notes Trump is believed to have written after he left the presidency. Now, we already knew that Trump has a terrible track record when it comes to keeping intelligence to himself. He divulged highly classified material given to us by Israel with the Russians. And of all places, the Oval Office.
Any real reason to be on the wrong side of this thing? We are just a polarized country that people cannot see, they cannot read a 38-page affidavit and come to the same conclusions on it. What do you make of this from the political side?
What I make from this on the political side is you're noticing the dissipation of noise from my Republican colleagues because they know that the president is in trouble. The notion that after we had the Presidential Records Act, after Watergate, which meant that all documents belong to the people, belong to the White House, does not belong to the person of the president. And to have 15 boxes first earlier this year and now additional boxes with top secret documents in them clearly show that the president has done some wrongdoing. And so what they are going to do is try and call foul. And what we're going to do is continue through the January 6th committee, hopefully through the Justice Department, continue the investigation, while Democrats are going to hone in on the notion that we are about the people. We are not about politics. The polarization and the intransigence of the Republicans just show that they are about power, while from the legislation that we've been putting forward, we are showing that we are about the people.
You are a former Department of Justice official. There is a discussion underway right now amongst legal experts. I had some of it with Barbara a moment ago about the difference between a technical violation of the rules, by the way, for which, generally speaking, low-level people do get prosecuted, and something else, obstruction of justice, or the fact that for 18 months these documents have been sitting around Mar-a-Lago. Who knows where they've gone?
It's the white privilege for me. For 18 months, this man sat on sensitive documents that he had no business leaving with the White House with. This twice impeached one-term grifter had no business bringing those documents out of the White House. And yet, the DOJ and the FBI gave this man 18 months. Do you know the amount of grace someone has to give you? 18 months to returning the people's document. We have persons around the world who are risking their lives so that we can have a democracy that the world envies. And for this man to sit on these documents for 18 months, and for entities across the world, allies and enemies, to visit that resort, I would not be surprised if those information got into their hands. You will watch this brief flashback and I will be back with more commentary. This man had critical information that he gathered from the White House and brought to his resort, in which persons across the world came to his resort, and at any point he could have, or he did, gave those information to our enemies. This is espionage 101. And of course, the guardians of Putin fell into line by calling for defunding of the FBI. This is the guardians of Putin that quote unquote claim law and order when all they cause is chaos, toxicity, loss of life, and denying the rights of their fellow Americans. America, this is not the time to sleep. This is the time to wake up. The guardians of Putin do not care about us. All they care about is them and them alone. And I promise you, if you think that your vote does not matter, think again. Why do you think they are going so hard against the American people? They are using their privilege as a weapon to show us that they don't care about us. And if you think for a second that they will care about you, you better think again. 1/6 was a national security breach in which entities within our government conspired to taking down our government. And this is why he was impeached for the second time. The guardians of Putin have made it perfectly clear that they do not care about our democracy. They do not care about our safety as long as they are in power. Even if that means our agents will have to pay the ultimate price because of one man's selfish act. For 18 months, our critical information has been in a resort for 18 months. This is a national security breach once again. America, the checks and balances is going to be in our hands on November 8th, 2022. There are 34 seats in the Senate and all 435 in the House of Representatives on the federal level. There will be 36 governor races and critical state and local races. Please do not be fooled. Do not sit on the sidelines, because elections have consequences. Elections matter. Be safe out there, and I will see you in the next video.